I'm Pete Starkey at Real Time with IPC. Delighted to have the opportunity to speak with Jason Posey, who's Director of Sales and Service at Gardien Group. Jason, thanks for joining us. It's great to meet you. I'm looking forward to an interesting conversation with you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Jason, I've spoken in the past with guys like Rick Maror and Roland Valentini about Gardien's quality assurance services, and your Todd Colmadin is a regular contributor to our iConnect 007 journals. But you're also a major supplier of electrical test equipment and AVI equipment. So can we sort of talk about that end of the business?
Absolutely.
What can you tell us about flying probe electrical testing?
So Gardien has many different models of flying probe tester. We have equipment that's affordable, made in China, but then we have our higher end equipment that's made in Germany, but still priced very affordable for the market because, as you know, margins are tight for everybody. So we've tried to attack things on that level. But we have anywhere from budget machines that'll just get the job done if your product mix is simple, to high-end, very fast machines that can get very accurate and still get the job done in a very timely manner. We can do Kelvin testing, high pot testing, all on the same machine.
Yep.
Whatever you got,
Yep.
we can get it done.
We used to rely very heavily on grid testing as our mainstream sort of production testing method, right. And we looked on probe testing as a very elegant method of testing difficult and complex stuff, but slow.
Right.
It seems that of more recent times, probe testing has become a production tool, and probe testing is probably capable of testing the most complex of products. Can you comment on that?
Absolutely. I mean, as you know, the market here in North America changed, and in also other major markets in the world. What was once elegant's become the workhorse. Fixtures are very expensive to build, even though grid testing is very fast. With the market now mostly being small runs, prototype work here in North America, flying probe is just makes sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to spend $1,000 or more on a fixture you're only going to use once for 12 boards.
Yeah.
But then also, if you marry it with a machine we have that we call the Accelerate, we can take a 20-minute flying probe test time and we can shrink it to 5 minutes or less.
How do you manage to do that?
We do the capacitance measurement, discharge or phase. Different manufacturers have different terms. We do that on a machine called the Accelerate. It takes about a minute. And then it creates a log file that is fed to the flying probe machine that already has data for that board. The Accelerate tells the prober what it needs to test and tells it you don't need to waste time on this other stuff.
I understand.
So we can move thousands of panels a week through just flying probe. When normally that would have only been able to be accomplished with a grid tester.
So this equipment, you sell it as capital equipment to people.
Yes.
You also use the equipment as part of your quality assurance services.
And that's the thing. Our equipment has to work because we also test, providing services, testing as a service. It has to work because our reputation's on the line.
Sure.
Many people rely on us. We test 50% of the world's circuit boards.
Really? As many as that? Yeah,
all over the world.
Yeah.
So the equipment has to work or we'll be out of business in a heartbeat.
Yes, rather quickly.
Exactly. So we use it ourselves. So.
Well, I think from the customer's point of view, from the customer's point of view for quality assurance services, but also from the customer's point of view for capital equipment purchase, he gets a very comfortable feeling.
Exactly. A lot of our customers like knowing that there's a test center somewhere they can get to relatively quickly, that if they need overflow, they can just send us the data. The equipment's the same, process is the same.
Yep.
It's as if they tested it themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Changing the subject slightly, Jason, we mentioned early on that I'd heard the term AVI as an inspection method. Can you explain AVI and how does AVI differ from AOI?
So AVI, the difference is AOI is mostly for interlayer work.
Yeah.
AVI stands for Automated Visual Inspection. It's for finished product.
Yeah.
So everything that a final QC operator is sitting there doing with a magnifying lens and wearing their eyeballs out, the machine does it instead. Mm-hmm. And not to knock any final QC operators out there, there's a lot of good ones out there, but eventually their eyes will get tired.
I have personal experience. Yeah.
And every customer I ask, do you have boards that get returned to you because of issues, defects that got missed in final QC? And they all say yes. So there's an RMA issue there. An AVI machine does not replace an operator. We're not putting people out of work.
Yeah.
You still need someone to run the machine, and preferably someone who knows what final QC is meant to accomplish. The AVI machine just never gets tired. Its cameras never wear out. So it's a comparison to the CAD CAM data. It's, the same information you get from an end user or customer, you get to the machine, it compares the boards to that. It's also looking for any surface defects, anything like that.
Yep.
Everything the final QC operator does, the machine can do, and it can do it all day long.
Yeah.
So,
what sort of throughput is the equipment capable of?
We can do anything. We have a machine that sits on a table, and it's as fast as the operator can put a board on, the machine scans and take it off.
Yep.
We have big units that are fully automated. You stack hundreds of boards on one end and they come out the other, get sorted. This one needs to be looked at, this one's okay. And so it just depends on what they need, but our equipment can handle any throughput constraints.
Yeah. Do you offer AVI as part of your quality assurance services?
We do not in North America, but AVI has been pretty much institutionalized in Asia.
Yeah.
So in Asia, yes, one of our business models is on site. We can be on site at a customer and be their test department.
Yeah.
So we can also be their final QC. We handle shipping for some customers, but in Asia, AVI is part of the package.
Yeah.
So we do provide it as a service.
Is there any particular sector that's driven that requirement?
Well, it was initially driven by the automotive industry.
Yeah.
They started buying boards in China because they were cheaper than North America, but quality was an issue coming back. So they started demanding that change, obviously. They're really big on reliability of every part in a car.
Sure.
So that drove the initial investment and that drove the initial burst of AVI technology to just ensure that the board you're shipping to your end user is good and they can count on it. Another aspect of our AVI equipment is we can store not just logs with serial numbers. We store the actual images of a board.
Right.
And we can keep those images for years. So if any time down the road,
ever an issue should arise, you can go back to the definitive inspection date.
Yes, that will be recorded and stored based on serial, lot, part number, whatever.
Yeah.
And you have it for as long as you want to keep it.
Yeah.
So you have the proof that when it left here, no, it did not have that defect. We did our job.
That
so
can resolve a few arguments.
Exactly. So that's another aspect of it too. You can go back and look and see what happened. So.
Yeah. Jason, it's great to meet you. We could continue this conversation for a long time.
One other thing I would like to mention real quick.
Go on.
We have successfully installed past qualification with our first AVI unit in North America.
Right, yeah.
With a major manufacturer. I won't say their name, but
No.
when I say the largest, people can figure it out. So
Yeah.
it's here and it's begun to get used.
Is this the beginning of a trend, do you believe?
Yes.
Do you think others will follow now in North America?
Yes, sir.
It will become an integral part of the system.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
proves its worth very quickly. So
I'm sure it does. Jason, thanks a lot. We've learned an awful lot. Thanks for being so informative, so open with your explanations. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Pleasure. Pete Starkey, real time with IPC. Thank you.